you can go for it.
All right, should be starting up now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Awesemo.com Live Before Lock show. Be taking you through the days. Well, I guess technically 6 games if we're counting FanDuel, but mostly the 5-game main slate because I forgot that there are 6 games on FanDuel. But I'm Chris Spags, joined as always by my good. There's our noise in the background. Didn't mute the screen. Good job by me.
I was like, what, am I not your good pal anymore? What's going on, man?
No, because now you're not my good pal and I'm mad at the world. But my good pal still, the Chubster Josh Engelman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm getting there. The day is getting better and better. That's that much I can say.
You're sounding a little better. Still not 100%. Not at your smooth, dulcet tones we've grown accustomed to here on the Awesemo.com YouTube channel, but you're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that I can make my voice worse and have my job be me talking a lot, you can't beat those things.
Yeah, you don't get that smooth R&B voice that some people get when they're sick.
No, I don't know what that is. A baritone?
Yeah, sure.
I don't get that. I just sound way more nasally and really ramp up the Ray Romano.
A lot of people, look, Everybody Loves Raymond was the most popular show. If we got Everybody Loves Raymond viewers on this YouTube channel, I think Tom would be really happy.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Even happier than that 70K win or whatever he got yesterday. You get playoff NBA. Playoff NBA, by the way, going. You need some rankings or ownership projections. And of course, obviously, your MLB too, because this is an MLB stream. But use that promo code Live Before Lock, get half off your first month because people are using them in our company and killing it and having a great tournament showing. So yeah, that was a nice day for him, I saw.
I think I pulled a muscle in my back coughing this morning.
And then other people on the staff not having as good of a time. This would be the takeaway.
Yeah.
But speaking of a good time, we do have a good time today. At least we got some quality hitting on the slate. Pitching, a real conundrum to dig through, but we do have some good stacks to talk about. I guess we should just go game by game again, even though the deeper dive guys just did, because we just have 5. Does that seem fair?
Can't hurt. I mean, I figure we'll get through all of them by 6:30, 2 home run picks, and then we can tackle all sorts of stuff.
Yep. So I don't have the 6th game on my stat page right now, so I'm going to lean on you for this one. But we do have that first game, which is FanDuel exclusive. FanDuel still continuing to go with their different slating of things, and it is it's just one game, right?
Lean on me.
It is the Royals Yankees game, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't clicking the wrong thing. But obviously here, this is a spot where Yankees offense and also the pitching, I think they have the best pitcher on the slate on FanDuel as well with Herman. Yeah. But what are you doing in this one? Where are you getting the most of in your crunches?
Lots of Herman for sure. Not a spot to get cute, similar to the early slate today. Just he is the best pitcher on the slate. And he, in this case, has the most advantageous matchup. The Royals strike out a ton, so I will be going to Herman, very similar to going to Carrasco yesterday. That worked out fantastic for me. It's Herman. Happy to get to Yankee stacks. Mike Ford getting a lot of ownership for me. Flat and min first baseman, hitting 7th for the Yanks in a 5.2 run implied total game. Sounds good to me. No problems with Judge, Gardner, Torres. I am getting to a little bit of the Royals, but that's mostly just Merrifield, Mondesi, and a little bit of Billy Hamilton.
All right, so there you go. And I back up all your viewpoints as somebody who's not playing anything involved to this slate. That all sounds really correct to me.
Yeah, as it should.
Yeah. Even more correct than usual, some may say, because I have no frame of reference at all to disprove anything you said.
My exposures are a little flat tonight for the main slate, and I need to figure out a way to make that unflat.
Well, hey, maybe this will get your juices going for your crunches. How about a game with Baltimore and the Rays with Andrew Kashner on the bum for one side, a Hunter Wood opening for the Rays on the other side, and then potentially going to Ryan Yarbrough, who is pretty overpriced, at least on DraftKings, and also not even clear that he's going to get in there, according to what some of the quotes that we had in the deeper dive before this that our pal Shit My Money who's given out there. So I don't have any Baltimore. I think I might have one off just because it occurred and not out of any choice. Ton of Rays here. No Kashner for me, even though I really don't even think you can make a case that he's due for positive regression because his numbers are terrible and they're right in line with the terribleness that he was last year. So I'm comfortable going to the Rays, and really that's about it.
No issue with VR for me. on the Orioles. Leading off, second baseman. I don't mind using that as a one-off. It's not like I'm super worried about whatever's coming in for Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. Tampa. See, that's how bad it is today, man.
It was a T. You were close enough.
Yeah, clearly not going to Cashner, and I can't imagine really getting to Yarbrough here. Don't like the price, and there's no guarantee that he even sees the field.
Yeah, that's a real concern. And I've talked about this before, I think, on a stream with Jake, where the Rays opener situation hasn't really gotten more predictable. They sometimes give you breadcrumbs in the news items, but I really don't feel comfortable chasing either of those guys. You could sometimes miss out in a decent day, like Chirinos yesterday, who had like 5 strikeouts in a very short amount of work and got a win as well. But I don't need that. Like, I think even on this slate, I just don't need the risk, especially if Yarbrough is going to be 7,400 on DK. Like, that's no thank you.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there.
All right, let's go to the next one. So this one, I think I would like a little bit. Well,
sorry if you said this. How do you feel about the Rays bats? They are quite chalky.
Yeah, so they're chalky. I think I had them yesterday, so it's probably coloring me a little bit, but I was happy with the Lau Choi combo in particular. And Yandy Diaz as well also had a nice day. I'm getting here a bunch. I have the most Zunino out of everybody, just because he's so cheap at catcher on DK, and he does have that pop, and Cashner's so bad. I would be disinclined to go to them if it weren't a spot against Cashner, but I have a ton of these guys. Actually, pretty much every guy. Yep, every guy in the batting order, I have at least one lineup with.
There you go.
Yeah. Any of these guys, by the way, on the bottom of the order jumping out to you, because it is going to be under 10% for Kiermaier, for Robertson, for Adames. They're going to be much less owned than the top guys.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Roberts. Oh God, I don't know. I would guess that I would get the most Robertson just because of his dual eligibility and crazy low price tag, but the top 3 guys in this order are the ones grading out on the best dollar for dollar list for me.
Yeah, Kiermaier, I think Kiermaier is an okay play in terms of just the numbers. He's got good power. He's hitting well to start the year as well. But pretty overpriced at 4,500 on DK. And that just wasn't, I didn't need a ton of him. I just wanted a little taste in case he does have a decent day. All right, let's go. I got the ownership pasted in. I don't know when this ownership updated, but I didn't have the most recent one. Oh, it was updated right before we went on. So there we go. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check out ownership. It was updated less than 15 minutes ago up on the site. And obviously, if you're not a premium member, use that promo code live before lock to check it out. Going on to this game with the Dodgers and the Brewers. The Dodgers getting 4.6 implied runs. Brewers getting 4.9 implied runs. Zach Davies going against Julio Urias on the other side for the Dodgers.
I am Urias.
I don't know why he's bringing out the accent in me for his name especially. I feel like the U gives it a little flair that I like. Urias.
It's Urias, as far as I'm concerned. I can't be trying to remember all these people's names. Brandon Lau. Come on now.
That one is just stupid. Like, there's no reason for that to be Lau. It's Lowe's. Or I guess, Lowe's department store is spelled differently, or hardware store.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's Loew. Oh no, that's the movie theater. Right? There's too many Lowe's.
It's not the hardware store. That much I can tell you.
No, it's not the hardware store. But Urias, I am not walking with Urias today. I think I have one lineup with him out of 20 just because you got to try it, I guess. But he's particularly bad versus lefties, even though he is a lefty in a very limited sample size. This is supposed to be his last session as a starter before he goes back to the bullpen, which I think is a little bit interesting. Maybe he has one last showing there, but the Brewers terrify me. They're mashing left-handed pitching. On the other side, Dodgers mashing right-handed pitching. So I like stacks here at both sides. I have a lot more Dodgers than I do Brewers, though. What are you getting so far?
Almost equal on both sides on FanDuel. 8% aggregate to the Dodgers, 7 to the Brewers, which is essentially equal to what we have the public today. Clearly not going to any Zach Davies. Won't really be going to Urias. I can't do it, man. I can't believe that. Yeah, whatever.
They say it like the Count from Sesame Street would say it. I think that'll help. Urias, 1, 2.
They had the nerve to put a pimp on there. Anyway, no, I don't like the pitching in this game. The 4.8 run implied total on both sides is really interesting, but I don't think Urias goes deep enough into this game. I only have him in here for 4 2/3 innings, so he's not really in play for me on FanDuel. I don't like the price tag for him on DK, and then Zach Davies is Zach Davies, so this is a place to grab bats and nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, I agree. And the lefties on the Dodgers also, Davies noticeably worse versus lefties than he is versus righties, though. Not anybody to worry about on either side of the plate, really. Not striking guys out. not also missing bats a ton to start the year. And his numbers are in line overall with where he was last year, 7.7% chase rate. And he was at an 8.2% going back to last year. So I agree. Which Dodgers would you want the most?
Let me flip a formula quick, and then I will be right there. Dodgers, I want the most. Yeah, I had to make a change to something.
That sounded so fancy.
Yeah. Ryan Braun is the clear top play on Milwaukee, in my opinion. 3,100 on FanDuel, $16 on Yahoo, 4,400 on DK. He's the guy that I would want most as the best dollar for dollar play. And not only that, but could potentially have the highest ceiling just because of being able to get at least one at bat against a lefty. He's been murdering lefties for like 15 years. But yeah, Braun is my dude here. Braun. I can get all the wrestling references in today.
Somebody actually said that on the Four Corners video I do today. And by the way, if you're watching Live Before Lock, but not watching the Four Corners video I do, which is just a short form take on things on the slate, please do watch that because there's lots of people who watch MLB content, NBA content, and I don't like the numbers being down. But somebody commented for, like, I asked, like, who's the favorite one-off hitter? Somebody commented just Braun in all caps, and he really should enter to Braun Strowman's theme. Like, I see no reason why that wouldn't be his at-bat music.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
I think Milwaukee people make it happen. Go protest until he does that. That's how we get things done in 2019. Just whine on Twitter. Yeah, so
I do it.
I also like Yelich. I think Yelich is an interesting play here because he really doesn't have any noticeable difference between his lefty-righty splits. And going against a left-handed pitcher doesn't worry me. And the Dodgers bullpen also not super worrisome either, not missing bats pretty well. And Yelich just such a nasty hitter. And I feel like he's getting a little bit overlooked, even though he's actually really underlooked on FanDuel and Yahoo, at least if that ownership is still holding up, under 5% this morning.
I'm never going to talk anybody out of taking Yelich. He's got low ownership on Yahoo and FanDuel, 11% on DK, but don't trick yourself into thinking that he doesn't have any splits against lefties, because he does.
I mean, but still, like, him versus a lefty is still, like, he's like Freddie Freeman, where, like, they're just good.
I'm not trying to say that he is just suddenly bad. He's just not himself, but, like, it's not like he's some below average scrub against the lefty. I'm with you there.
Okay.
But he does still have
I just feel like
a pretty sizable lefty-lefty split. It just doesn't make him, like, a bad player.
He's a mortal human being who hits well versus lefty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So overall I'll just say his lefty split. So people who they were talking in vagaries, but dating back to last year, 212 at bats versus lefties, 323 batting average, 387 on base percentage, 269 or 269. Yeah, 249 ISO. Wait, am I reading that correctly? Yeah, 249 ISO. So still got a ton of power. The numbers kind of look similar, the 4s and the 9s on this font I'm using.
Change your font.
I know. I need to get it all on one page, and, like, the only font that works for me is
Comic Sans. Wingdings. Having trouble figuring out wingdings?
It's DIN alternate is what I use for my sheet.
Use Calibri. Just use the damn default font.
Did you see there's a new Helvetica? That's Helvetica new for 2019, because I guess we've had the same Helvetica for 25 years.
So does Helvetica new, the old Helvetica new, get turned into Helvetica old?
I think it has a new name, which isn't like Helvetica new. It's like Helvetica, like, Elite. That's like some cornball name. Actually, now I'm curious what it is.
I don't get into the font game.
Helvetica Now is what it's called.
Of course it is.
Which is kind of a douchey name.
Serenity Now.
Helvetica, though, the most popular font for branding. I think I saw in some article about Helvetica.
It is popular.
All right, let's go. Anything else in this game you want to hit on before we move on to the big Coors matchup?
I like the Dodgers. Peterson, Seager, Bellinger, Muncy. Whatever. But no, I mean, I like being on both sides of this game. There's just so much home run power that it's really hard to want to fade either side of it.
Yeah, and that's been just one of my big theories on the year, which so far has paid off. And to be honest, I haven't played it as much as I've thought, but I just don't like any of the Brewers pitchers. And I think every time they're at home versus a remotely competent hitting team, they're going to give it up, and they're also going to score a good amount of runs. And I think this game does fit the criteria and is a pretty viable pivot to the Philly-Colorado game. But speaking of, let's get to it. Philly and Colorado. I have Colorado with a 5.6 implied run total, at least as an hour and change ago. Philadelphia, 5.4 implied runs for them. Kyle Freeland, maybe a little bit interesting just because he doesn't give up a ton of home runs, so maybe he keeps it in the park and he's okay at a reasonable price. Zach Eflin, I thought was interesting to start the day. Now there's so many lefties, and they pretty much put out their best possible lefty-heavy lineup now. for Colorado with Ryan McMahon back in there, David Dahl as well, Tapia down in the order, which is a better spot for him. So I got less Eflin, and I came off the Eflin position I had. I think I have maybe 2 out of 20 lineups with him, but a million ways to stack this up. I think I'm heavily favoring the Colorado side right now than the Philly side, but what are you getting?
From a bats perspective, I see them as relatively equal. I like the first 4 guys in both lineups a lot, and then I think that it falls off of a cliff, so to speak. This is for FanDuel, by the way. On Yahoo, 1 through 8, I think looks really good for the Rockies. I don't have as much interest in Cesar Hernandez if he's hitting 7th at $18. On DK, I think the Phillies look a little bit more desirable at the bottom, but I like the top piece of the Rockies a little bit more. As for pitching, I really like Freeland today, which is kind of scary to me. He grades out actually as my best dollar for dollar option on DraftKings.
Interesting. What, I guess, do you want to have any reason why? Just the price and the fact that he's limiting hard contact well enough?
The price for sure. The fact that he is the 3rd cheapest pitcher on DK is really appealing to me. Now that I see that he's 31% owned, if I were to run a DK crunch, I would probably end up just slightly under that number, actually, because I don't think that I would have him that valuable. That's getting a little high. I would just be redistributing the ownership of Paddock, Roark, and Freeland to... I don't even... Honestly, it's so hard to talk about because I don't have any lineups. This pitching is tire fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Freeland grades out as my best option. I would probably offload some of his ownership to Eflin and Stratton because I don't think their gap in ownership is as big. I don't think their gap in... Hold on. What's the best way to say this? I think their gap in talent is less than the gap in their ownership. Got it. Brain's not firing like I needed to today.
Nuts. You're doing well for a person whose brain is filled with mucus and whatever else is built up from your illness.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I guess probably every brain is filled with mucus, right?
I don't know anything about brains, dude.
Like mucus membranes. I know that just has the word brain in it, but I think we just have those everywhere. So there's probably mucus all over.
If I knew enough about brains, I assume that this was not my job. And I'm in a lab somewhere.
I bet Eddie would have some thoughts on like brain construction. Like he might not know enough to have a serious conversation about it with somebody who actually knew. But I feel like if I asked him like, what's up with mucus in the brains? Like I feel like Eddie would have like a 1-pager that he read in Newsweek in like 1991.
Speaking of Eddie, I'm going to update YouTube for him so that he can go live when he's ready.
Yeah, of course, if you are waiting for NBA Live Before Lock, it is a 5 p.m. West Coast time, 8 p.m. East Coast time kickoff for, tip-off for the NBA games. So Eddie will be going on in about 40 minutes from now.
Yeah.
So I have some Stratton takes, but I don't want to get to those yet because I think Stratton, to me, I would rather play than Freeland, and I don't like it either. Pitching-wise, we try to really bring enthusiasm to these shows because, even if on a slate that's not great, it's still a puzzle that you're trying to figure out, and everybody else has the same pieces to work with. And this particular one, though, for pitching, nothing feels good to me at all. So I have no problem going to Freeland, but he's not terribly appealing. I think that's my hot take.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary spot because of the runs. I would have liked him. I assumed he would get less love than what I'm giving him. And that is making me nervous.
Yeah, I agree. What about Eflin on the other side? He's noticeably struggles. Everybody knows he struggles versus lefties. And he does have pretty noticeable splits overall. Gives up some more medium contact. Not a ton more hard contact, which is a bit strange, but a lot of medium contact to lefties, which in cores can pay big dividends. Any Eflin interest at all for you?
On FanDuel, no. On Yahoo and DK, the two pitcher sites, yeah. I think the ownership that we're projecting him for, 17% on DK right now, is about where he should be. Like everything seems to be lining up in order in the right way. It's just not appealing when you look at it in a vacuum,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Rockies have been bad. And the thing that sucks is like the lineup materially is different from the Rockies we've seen this year. But versus right-hand pitching, they have been egregiously bad to start the year. Just the 36 WRC plus, not getting any power, striking out 26% of the time. So I think there's an argument to be made for Eflin, but I think they have 2 guys coming into the lineup who haven't been in there. They have Tapia down at the bottom now instead of hitting in a 2-hole. I think that all benefits the Rockies being better than they have been and Eflin having less opportunity than it may have seemed.
Here's a question for you. I think I lost it. Okay. Is there a combination of pitchers that are on this slate that you would see in the winning lineup and be like, I don't know how that guy landed on that?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, well, what would it be? It would probably be like a Felix and like Hunter Wood combo. I feel like it's not impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's certainly what I guess I'm not playing him at all, but would it be the most shocking thing given what we know of DFS and MLB DFS in particular if Andrew Kashner had 12 points today and that was enough to be in a winning tournament lineup?
No, I mean, that wouldn't shock me one bit.
No, I hate that thought, and I hate the thought that I don't have him at all now because of that thought. But, the Rays going to be very popular coming off of a big day yesterday. They've had one mediocre day versus Dylan Bundy, who I talked about this today too in the video I did, but like, Dylan Bundy, there was a credible case to be made to go away from him. And David Hester was a credible case to not even remotely worry about it. I really find it hard to believe Andrew Kashner can have a decent day today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that same way about Andrew Kashner every day. So I'm probably not the best person to ask. He clearly grades out as my worst. Well, actually, he's not the worst pitcher. Felix Hernandez is the worst pitcher. I have Andrew Kashner projected for 0.2 of a point less, but he's also $2,700 cheaper. So Felix Hernandez is the actual worst play of the day. But Andrew Kashner is the worst overall pitcher if you're not looking at salary. He's bad, but that doesn't mean he has to be bad. He will have a start or two this season where you're like, damn, I was supposed to play Andrew Kashner that day. That could be today, and he's going to win a lot of GPPs for the 6% of the people that have him.
Speaking of somebody who's probably got a little exposure to Andrew Kashner, the boss man in the chat, Alex Baker, going back to the mucus in the brain question. I think there must be mucus in the brains, like that educational song, Insane in the Membrane, Insane in the Brain. So that's, if Alex says it, it must be true. So for that quality banter, go follow at Osmo DFS on Twitter and Instagram and go get some more Alex in your life.
There you go. I
miss doing videos with Alex. We haven't done one in a while. Like we got to do a round table to make me better at baseball.
Well, you were getting a lot of Alex there for 20 straight weeks.
Yeah, a lot of on the that'll be coming back. Hopefully, it's more on the contrary. I think I'm starting NFL content earlier this year if what I was told hangs true. So I'm excited.
As long as we're not doing those previews again.
Oh, those were so much fun. And you know what? A lot of the takes I had, and maybe we had, but mostly the ones I had were pretty good. They were.
Oh, you can't see me shaking my head. I guess you'll see that in like 10 to 12 seconds. Just know that it's coming.
the Jimmy Graham take, who ended up being better than Jimmy Graham? A certain Atlanta tight end who
and then you recommended 15 other tight ends that were getting drafted like 67th out of tight end.
Okay, but a couple. Nick Vannett, not Nick Vannett. Who was the guy who got hurt before Nick Vannett? The dude, Will Dissly. Will Dissly was going to have a monster year if he had been in there. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited for NFL content. But back to MLB.
Yeah.
Back to MLB and a pitcher who I am playing today, who I guarantee is going to ruin my day. But I'm thinking on positive regression here. We have Seattle and the Angels. It's not Felix. I know. I have a penchant for liking heavy set older pitchers, but I'm not going to Felix today. I am going to Chris Stratton way more than I thought I would. I think there are some strikeouts that we had here versus the Mariners. They're not doing a great job versus right-hand pitching in terms of that one department. Everything else, though, a ton of risk. Stratton, a terrible pitcher in pretty much every way, but perhaps not as terrible he's shown so far this year. So I've got a lot of Stratton, and I have a little bit of Cole Calhoun and Mike Trout. Not much else here.
All my exposures just went away because I updated the Mariners lineup and re-crunched, but I see the Mariners and the Angels as relatively similar. They're just constructed differently. I will likely be over the field on the Mariners and probably a little underweight on the Angels. If I look overweight on the Angels, it's probably just Trout skewing everything. Sorry, I'm hustling. I've got 10 minutes.
Yeah. Also, Vogelbach is in there, and I don't think he was in the projected lineup I had. So that is one change.
Yeah, something changed. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was Jay Bruce I had hitting in the 5-hole in whatever projected, probably the same place everybody uses projected lineups. Yeah, it is Vogelbach there instead. Everything else is the same. All right, get out of there, Jay Bruce, you bum. All right,
you told him.
Jay Bruce, I'm sure he felt a cold breeze brush over his shoulder right there, and that was me being mean.
Talking about me again.
Man, that guy just won't lay off me. I like Jay Bruce more often than not, but if you're not going to be in there, man, I got no time for you. All right. So what about Stratton here? So a terrible run total supporting him, maybe some strikeouts though. 4.7 runs, not usually a pitcher I'm trying to go to when that guy also doesn't have strikeout upside and also gets hit a lot. And This is a terrible play, but I'm playing Chris Stratton. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts on Chris Stratton? I mean, I think he's comparable to Eflin today. I don't think he's good, but he's like one of the guys that I think are tolerable to roster. He's
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. You can make a case fifth, probably sixth on the slate out of, what is it, 10? So, yeah, he's fine. Passable, I guess, is the best way to say it. But we're not really comparing him to a lot of talent here.
No. And we were comparing him to Andrew Kashner. And I mean, I guess, though, the ownership would make you think that maybe Kashner is more likely to be in his tournament winning lineup because Stratton's going to be decently owned. He's going to be near 20% on DraftKings. And that's a lot. It's a lot of Chris Stratton out there.
That is a lot of Chris Stratton out there. There's a lot of pitchers that are not going to make people have a great day. There's going to be a couple people in the morning, or like, you know, we're going to be 3 innings in, and it's just going to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I played so-and-so.
Yeah, this lineup did not get better with Dan Vogelbach in there either because he is a problem with just every possible way for Chris Stratton. Chris Stratton bad versus lefties, by the way, if you do want to stack against him. And he's also bad versus righties, but he's worse versus lefties. Gives up above league average home runs and also gives up 10.3 hits per 9 and strikes him out even less. So Dan Vogelbach might be a good home run pick who I don't have any lineups. Oof, brutal. What about the Angels here for you?
I like I like Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout, and Justin Bour. I don't really like much else. Those are pretty much my only dudes here. Did we just get a lineup? Because that's going to be really annoying. Oh, just the Mariners.
Yeah, man, with this is going to be bad. I just looking at this lineup now, I could see all the ways that Chris Stratton's going to fail, and it's like it's all rushing back to me where I'm like, oh, you're going to regret this one, but that's fine. That's baseball.
That is. Baseball.
Let's do the last game here, and this one I think should be faster potentially. But so Tanner Roark, we talked a little bit up front. He's getting 4.4 implied runs against him in a matchup here in San Diego. So a beneficial pitcher's park, still projected for a good amount of runs against him. And on the other side, Chris Paddock projected for just 3.2 runs against him with the Reds lineup, who's also not doing much of note, particularly versus right-handed pitching. So I like Paddock a lot. I think Paddock is actually my most exposed pitcher on the day. I'm willing to pay up to get there for him just because I think he's going to give me some degree of safety, which I don't think you'd say about a lot of guys on the slate. And I'm under the field on Roark, but not fading him completely just because I think you just got to do that. But what are you doing here in this game?
I mean, Roark is my second ranked pitcher. Paddock is my third. I understand why these guys are getting owned, but it is a really, really uncomfortable feeling. I am mildly heavy on the Padres as of right now, so I hope that Roark gets smoked personally. But
yeah,
ultimately, I think they are like 2 of the top 3 options on the DraftKings slate and 2 of the top 3 options on the FanDuel slate as well.
Yeah, I think Roark. So Shit My Money said on the deeper dive that he didn't think that the Padres as a stack were that great of an idea. Because like he just didn't see the upside with the team totals for everybody else. And I did go there for full stacks a little bit more than I probably should have, but I think one-offs are interesting with a bunch of the different guys there. You have some pop with Reyes and Machado and Hosmer to a lesser extent, just because Roark is worse versus lefties as well. And I don't mind Tatis either as a cheap shortstop option. Excuse me. So I don't know. I think there are some ways to go about there. And I do feel like going against Roark that's the most direct leverage I think you could take on the slate.
For sure. I like being heavy on the Padres right now.
Yeah. So heavy on the Padres. What about going against Paddock? So like, do you think Paddock is as strong of a play as I do overall? Because like, I'm not super worried about it. Though obviously the Reds do have some hitters in there who could cause them some trouble. Just don't see a ton of power. And I think there are some strikeouts to be had as well.
I'm not worried about the Reds lineup. I'm just worried about how long he can pitch in the game. I only have him going 5 innings, but he has probably the best stuff on the DraftKings slate. So the strikeouts can be there. I just don't know how much he can actually accumulate in 5 innings.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown over 100 pitches so far. So, I mean, they could just be trying to protect his arm a little bit because he is a younger pitcher. But, everything that he's done so far has been good, getting swinging strike rates, not getting hit a lot, striking guys out. So I'm willing to go there, but it does worry me a little bit. He's given up a lot of hard contact, especially to righties. And that could pay off he hasn't given up a home run yet, but that could certainly turn around today. All right. Let's do home run picks. Speaking of that, it is that time of the day. I don't know what happened yesterday. I didn't pay attention. Did anybody get a home run?
I don't even know if I did.
I'll assume you didn't, but
I don't think I did. I had Nomar Mazara.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Nomar Mazara.
Nobody ever tagged me in anything, so I assume Jake didn't get one either.
Yeah. So Freddie Freeman was his pick. He did not get one either, if I recall correctly.
Cool. Padres lineup is in. Ian Kinsler's not in it, and I have 20-something% of Ian Kinsler, and there's no way that I can crunch again in 3 minutes. So thank you so much, FanDuel, for locking 35 minutes early. It's so exciting for all of us, both in a content sense and in just trying to get your lineups ready. Really happy that I can't late swap anything like that either. I just have to 1-for-1 or manually remove 40 instances of Ian Kinsler. Really happy about it.
I sense you're not actually happy about
it. It's so annoying. It's so stupid. Just get better at your job, FanDuel.
Yeah, I could see. I think we posted a tweet, or maybe Alex posted a tweet about it today, where just talking about like, is it a good idea for them to have that or not? I get people wanting to play that game, and I think in this particular day, you're getting a pitcher who's better than everybody else, at least theoretically, with Domingo Germán versus the pitchers that we've talked about. But yeah, I don't know that it's a right move or not. It seems like people are more annoyed by it than not, but I feel like everybody feels that about FanDuel things initially.
Even like, this is a really unfun thing to have to do. Is all.
What's your, and it doesn't actually, well, it's upsetting too, because baseball's been so good about getting lineups out on time this year, and now you're not getting that one thing that they've been doing really well across the board.
Yeah, it's like I have literally one option to direct swap Kinsler into at this point. There's no way to do it any faster. There's only one guy at that salary structure that has his position. Flat minimum, number 9 hitter Tyler Wade. So I'm going to have 30-something% of Tyler Wade today because reasons.
That Tyler Wade home run, though, you're going to feel good about that when that comes.
I doubt it. And I couldn't even replace him in 2 of the lineups. Kinsler must already be in that lineup.
Oh, boy. Well, I swapped out my Kinsler with plenty of time to go. I'm going to go to Tommy La Stella in that one lineup and not try to redo the whole thing.
I'm just going to eat the money today and not care.
Fernando Tatis, though, taking a noticeable bump up. He is now hitting leadoff. I think that makes him even more appealing. I said I liked him before he got the bump up, and I think he's an even stronger play.
I don't know how much I have of him at this point, but considering I was pretty heavy on the Padres, I assume that I have him.
Yeah, I would think so. If you are fading Tanner Roark today, or at least playing some lineups without him, I don't think you need to do a full fade, because again, it just, like we talked about, just does make sense on 2 pitcher sites. I think going to Tatis now got a lot more appealing overall, because I think he's going to be a big part of whatever damage may come, and he's also been mashing right-handies so far to start the year. Just under 60 at bats, 278 ISO. So Fernando Tatis Jr., a compelling shortstop play, who's probably going to be under-owned based on what we have so far. All right, let's do home run picks. It is a little bit late now, but to update people on the scoreboard, because this is my favorite part, Mac on the year is technically the best hitter overall, I guess, if we're going to play it like that. 3 for 6 for Emac in his home run picks, at least if they've been tabulated correctly, which unclear for our old pal. Jake 0 for 10, Josh 1 for 9, me 3 for 11. So tied for the lead overall, but not feeling great about my percentage.
I don't remember making 9 picks at this.
Yeah, I mean, your sheet does it automatically. So you have, in fact, probably made 10 or 11.
I don't think I have.
You've almost definitely made 10 or 11.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Just probably. I assume we missed 1 or 2 at some point.
No, I doubt it. All right. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, please. I'll let you know, as a gentleman, I'll let the guy with just 1 home run go first.
God, this disgusts me so much. All right, I've got one. It's a nice lefty-righty matchup. Pitcher has a little bit of a propensity to give up home runs. It's a fantastic park factor. I can't imagine not wanting to pick this guy. So, home run pick is
Max
Muncy.
Okay. I would thought for a second you might go to Coors just because it's a short slate. I would have allowed it, but Max Muncy seems like a fair one. When you did that build up, though, I knew you were going Muncie.
Sure.
All right. Well, since we're not doing cores, I feel like I just need to tail your pick with somebody else. Yeah, you know what? I will go with the leadoff hitter, who technically has a better isolated power than Max Muncy, Mr. Jock Peterson. Step on up. You are the home run pick for the day.
Jock Peterson, number 1 in my model. Can we get that? Brett, if you're watching this, can you grab that sound of whatever Chris just did? We're going to need to use that in just about anything. I need to use that as a drop.
That could be like, that could replace the moan thing that used to have on the soundtrack before the videos would start.
It was like when Jonah Hill screams and accepted.
Yeah, that's fair. That made me excited. I never get number 1 in the model, even when I get home runs, so it feels good to be there. There we go. Brett watching and done. Good job, Brett. We'd be watching
Brett.
the stream. Both good picks. Both won't homer. Username. That is a great username on YouTube. His username is literally username. What a day. Very appropriate. All right. What are you getting? Have you crunched things again so far? What did you end up with in your situation?
Yeah. I don't know any of my totals.
Let's see. Well, we'll find out with you.
No. I have no method of figuring that out at this point.
Oh, well, then never mind. We won't find out then.
Yeah. All of my crunches have pieces of Ian Kinsler in it, so it just errors out. And it's not like I could re-export the whatever I just did. So yeah, I don't know, flying blind today. I mean, look, I have lots of Padres, and I don't know who else. I know there's nothing I can do. I have no way to swap out who that is. Who actually? You know what? I do have a way to do that. What is the player number? Who the hell did I say that I put in for him?
Tyler Wade.
I could actually get to this answer. I just have to put Tyler Wade into all of my Ian Kinsler lineups.
This is like being the most useless MacGyver ever.
Yeah. Well, if anybody's useless, it's me.
Aw. You've got use, even when you're sick.
All right. Nope, that's Wade LeBlanc. That's Wade Davis. Tyler Wade, third from the bottom, which makes me feel way worse. All right, Wade. So replace 34644-5505. I feel like Rain Man here.
It almost got me to spit take on my laptop, which would have had a fun outcome.
All right, so my exposures are still broken. I don't know why that's the case. Now who's not in here? Oh, yeah. Was there another person out of that lineup by any chance?
Maybe Urias came in for somebody. I didn't have Urias. I didn't have Luis Urias in my lineups today, so I don't know. But Hunter Renfroe came in. Oh, you know what? Will Myers.
Who's Luis Urias?
He is a second baseman / shortstop for the Padres.
That dude does not show up on my thing right now.
Yeah, it was definitely Will Myers who was in, because I had Will Myers in a lineup, and I thought he actually was in a pretty good spot.
Why is this guy not showing up?
All right.
If I search for him, I don't get him in my quick player replace. Is that game? No, it's not locked. I don't understand.
This is fun. We should fill more time with you being baffled by the things that you control.
I can't control it. That's the problem in all of this.
Yeah. Make sure you got Will Myers out too, though.
I didn't.
And maybe get in some Renfroe if you can. I think he might be a swap, actually. You might be able to swap Myers for Renfroe if you had him in the outfield.
This is so bizarre.
Eric Hosmer got bumped up to number 2 as well. This Padres stack actually got a little more interesting. Kind of like the Colorado one. The projected lineup much worse than the actual one.
You know what the worst part is? So when I searched for that guy before, didn't find him. And then I made that swap. And now, since FanDuel's lineup manipulation is utter garbage, Now I can't just swap out. Like I have to go manually to find him in all of those Padres stacks to switch out to the Padres version of Urias.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to do that, and I'm just going to eat the money today because I don't have the energy. Like I can't do it. I will lose my mind today.
So too many Uriai on the slate today. One could say. Too many Cooks, too many Uriases.
This is why it's not awesome to do live streams and try to do this at the same time, everybody, just in case you're curious.
I said that to Jake. Jake was like playing one of the big tournaments and like max entering one of the big, like I think it was one of the DK had like a decent valued like big one for 150 max. I was like, you're doing that while we're doing a stream. That is a ballsy play, my friend. That can go south so many different ways, I feel like. But
sorry, I'm coughing.
Oh no, that's fair.
All right, I'm here. Yeah. I can answer all questions now. It's just not about whatever I'm doing because I have no idea what's going on.
Let's go to the premium Slack. We do have a couple questions here from guys. And of course, if you're not a premium member of awesemo.com, use that promo code live before lock to get half off your first month. You could be in the premium Slack with all the boys chatting it up, being all gnarly and whatnot like they do in the premium Slack. They're often very gnarly in there. Pedrito PR, who I assume will enjoy my pronunciations of Urias as well. Today I can stack Rockies and Phillies, or is it too bad? Yes, you can stack them if you can afford them. Yeah. Any thoughts on stacking Rockies and Phillies?
Yeah, none whatsoever. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that is not a concern. And in fact, stacking two sides of a game that should have a lot of runs, generally a good approach in DFS if you're trying to figure that out. So that's not even me being a jerk, just in case some reason people think that's not a good idea. Yes, please stack teams that both have high run totals. That is a good call by you. Thoughts, our boy Dave, thoughts on Mike Zunino why do I keep saying Zunino? Zunino for FanDuel Cash.
Do you have any? FanDuel Cash on Zunino. I don't really have an issue with that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of scary. But he grades out as my best like upside option on a per dollar basis. He's owned, so yeah, I don't have a huge problem with it. He's got a really good projection, so yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, it stinks that he may end up just getting you an offer and not hitting a home run. But yeah, I think for cash, I think that's probably a logical play with some ownership on him, and the opportunity is certainly there, both versus the bullpen and the starter. Cashner bad, but also the Orioles bullpen really the worst in pretty much every category as well. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Our guy McCod. There was an ownership update in there. He points out, and also he's asking for the Paul Blackburn of the night, which I feel like we kind of already did. But the Paul Blackburn award for the day, of course, goes to a crappy pitcher who could somehow end up in a tournament-winning lineup. My choice before, it's Andrew Cashner for me. But what do you think, Josh?
Sure. I mean, it's anybody on this slate basically that's not named like it's a
good point.
For real. The whole slate is Paul Blackburn.
Yeah,
it's like it's like the Jackie Robinson day where everybody wears Jackie Robinson jersey or the 42. That's today. That everybody's wearing Paul Blackburn's number. Yeah,
I agree. I think there's an argument to be made for even Hunter Wood if you really wanted to. You can make that case. Terrible. What a terrible pitching slate. The hitting is about as good as we've had, but terrible pitching. Let's see. No more questions in the premium Slack. YouTube, if you have questions, drop them in as well. I'm reading everything right now. Chris Bieri asking, Josh, do you like Kinsler or LaStella? I'm going to assume you're going to like Kinsler a little bit less now.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass on Kinsler because he's the bane of my existence today.
Yeah. I too had a Kinsler on DK, and Chris, he is not in the lineup right now in the Padres lineup that just came out and was confirmed. So you would probably want to go to LaStella. And in fact, that is a play that I did. McCod saying Paul Blackburn would probably be a good pitcher tonight. Yep. That's very fair. Come back, Paul Blackburn. We miss you. All right. Anything else here? Question wise. Oh, here we go. Our guy Andrew Mock. Who has the coolest name on the slate? They are donging. It's not a rich, cool name slate overall.
Rolling through. Yeah, I mean it's probably G-Man Choi, and that's just because it's like a different name.
and he's Jaman.
Sure.
That's I'm sorry. Becky Lynch is actually going to sue him for copyright infringement.
That's a terrible joke. Like 6 people will get.
Is it a terrible joke?
I'm scrolling through the entire list of names. There isn't one.
I like Raimel Tapia. He's got a fun, like a unique name. Like I could see him being cool. And he actually has a cool photo too on DraftKings. So I go Raimel Tapia. He seems like a fun dude.
I pass.
He also, his name reminds me of Gargamel from the Smurfs.
I don't know anything about the Smurfs.
What? Oh, Jesus. What about Snorks?
What's that thing?
They're rip-off Smurfs from when we were both children.
No.
Oh,
no, man. I don't know what that is either.
So the Smurfs are a colony of little blue people. I'm sure you know that part.
Yes.
Gargamel, the wizard who inadvertently created them. The Snorks, a sea of underwater people who are very Smurf-like, and I think even made also by Hanna-Barbera. But they live underwater and they have little snork things. And the main guy's name is like Alistair Superstar or something really ridiculous. And they went a different way. Instead of like Brainy Smurf, they gave them really ostentatious names. So those are the Snorks.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I remember those guys.
they're very Smurf-like. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'll find the name of the Snork. Hold on. You do something else baseball related.
I'm going to run a DraftKings crunch. How's that work for you?
Yeah, you do that. I just want to know this guy's name, and then I can move on. Okay. Oh, okay. All-Star Seaworthy is the name. An athletic, yellow-skinned male snork, generally considered to be the hero of the series. He's smart, brave, and generous, usually serving as the leader of the gang during their various adventures. So
there you go. Gang? That seems dangerous.
A gang of snorks. You got to... The neighborhood always goes south when you have a bunch of snorks.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on with the DK crunch?
I don't know. All I've done is upload projections so far. You're talking about
I'm too busy thinking about snork property values. How they've been affected.
How many games? 5 games on the DK slate?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Andrew Mock points out Gargamel wanted to eat the Smurfs. Yeah, that's strange. And Shredder did want to eat the Ninja Turtles. That's a good point. I think that he asks, why do all cartoon villains want to eat the good guys? I would say that is probably, it's just an easy concept for kids to understand. They just, you're like, oh, that guy's bad because he wants to eat me.
Sure.
Well, it's not because like the murder part is implied, but like you just know as a kid, like, oh, that guy's trying to like eat me like I'm food. That's not good.
Eat me like I'm food.
Any Homer Bailey? Do you have any Homer Bailey in whatever you're doing?
No, I don't. All right, I'm running a DK crunch right now for, I don't know, 200 lineups or something.
By the way, I wouldn't have hated Bailey on this slate if I were playing a site that had Bailey available. Dude's missing bats at a crazy rate. I feel like we actually had this debate initially about Homer Bailey last year, and I was just a year too early.
You mean this year he's missing bats at a good rate?
Yeah. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I remember that last slate he had where I was like, oh, I'm not playing Homer Bailey, and he had like a 14% swinging strike rate or something.
What is it? Where is he at? God, he's been in the league for so long. Yeah, 11.5 so far this year. Yeah, highest rate of his career.
Figured some stuff out.
I doubt it.
It's actually, we did have this exact same conversation last year. I remember it vividly now.
Well, I mean, he's at 30% K rate right now, 15% for the season last year. That's still just kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's been getting better. Look, I wouldn't, if I were playing FanDuel today, I would have some Homer Bailey for sure.
Wait, what?
What?
Say that again.
If I were playing FanDuel today, I would have some Homer Bailey.
Don't play Homer Bailey on FanDuel, anybody.
What? Why?
Homer Bailey has my second lowest projection on FanDuel today.
On this slate, I look. I don't. This is me saying it. I don't have the data, but from what I saw, Homer Bailey the last time he was on a DraftKings slate that I was doing the stuff for, I liked Homer Bailey a bit and was confused by his numbers.
The win and the quality start bonus on FanDuel are pretty important, and those are two things that he is not in line to get today.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. If I look, I only know what I know. I only know what I know, which is I've been surprised by Homer Bailey. Homer added a new pitch, Adam Burst says. Guys, talk yourselves into Homer Bailey.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Never Bailey.
Don't. Homer, I hardly know her. Good one, Travis Wade. Yeah, I think you got to take it out of Josh's lineup today. Unfortunately, Travis Wade.
Oh, we still have 14 minutes. How?
Wait, what did you get? I thought you were doing your DK crunch. What'd you get?
Okay, let's talk about it.
I thought that was what we were filling time for.
Oh no, I've had it for a while.
Oh yeah, no. Tell me about it. Tell me what you're getting on, where I could find out what I'm doing wrong with my lineups.
Okay. So I ran this just generic on my projections, uncapped for exposures except for like the stacks. So there's no method to hedge Colorado and Philly primarily in 80% of the 5-man stacks. So everything that I got is useless.
Okay.
Let me
Sounds like
let me bump the randomness up to 50%, and we might be able to see some more.
So like while you're doing this, I guess, and we do have a little time to kill. What do you do when you find like you're not getting what you want out of your projections? Like, what's the first thing you try to tweak?
I don't tweak anything if I'm not like I don't try to get what I want.
Oh, okay, interesting.
No, if I'm trying to get what I want, then there's no need to set up anything in the previously to what I'm doing. Then I could just change numbers arbitrarily to get what I actually want. Whatever I get, I take. But I'm also not really using Fantasy Cruncher as to generate what I'm putting into a contest. I'm using it as a mechanism to create lineups faster than I know how to do otherwise.
Okay, that's a fair take too. I feel like I've heard people say, like, I know Adam talks a good amount about like trying to bump guys up in his projections, and I think your agnostic approach probably gives you less headaches about over tweaking, I guess.
Yeah, like if I'm not getting what I want, then I'm questioning why that's not coming up, not necessarily saying I need to change this so that I do get it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a fair approach. Homer Bailey apparently off to a great start.
Homer Bailey has more points than Herman Marquez, so I'm going to take a beating on this, and we're not even going to be done the show.
I hope so. I hope it goes really well for Homer Bailey until the second we close the stream and then it all goes south. Then I'll feel really good.
A new YouTube or the new Twitter troll that I've got is really going to love this one.
So what is the deal with that? Do you know who that person is and why you inspired them to be mean?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, yeah. We all have some. I know I have a few people who I've muted on the channel because I just don't I don't mute a lot of people at this point, but we had a stage where we're just getting a ton of trolls who are super negative. And it's fine. Keep watching the channel, but I don't think you need to be in the chat always. And I know there's one dude who tails videos around and dislikes at least one. And I think there's probably a couple.
Oh yeah.
Which come on, move on with your lives.
By the way, Jake just made a really good point in chat. You're more likely to bump guys if you're not making your own projections.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's fair. I wish Adam does not. I know he said that on the deeper dive before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that seems fair. And that is what I do. So I'm glad. Thank you, Jake. Thank you for making me feel better about that. Though I do it in basketball too, and those are my projections. So maybe not the best. Is somebody accusing you of being a Chinese spy, or are you being trolled by a Chinese spy on Twitter?
They are accusing me of being a Chinese spy. They create multiple new YouTube accounts all the time, and I just have to keep banning them.
Yeah, there's a degree. I don't know. I can't even say probably, but
it's probably better for a different day.
Fair enough. Let's see. Does Pollock crush right or left-handed pitching? Pollock is my least favorite part of that stack, so I'm not a guy to talk to about it. But let me look him up. Pollock. The reason why I would say that he doesn't jump out to me, he's not bad. He still has a 200 ISO versus righties, so I don't mind it. But I think the other guys around him are just so much more appealing that I didn't get there, and you'd prefer the lefties versus Davies. But any reservations for you with Pollock?
No, not at all. He was 2,800 on FanDuel. Okay. Call me Anthony Bourdain because I have no reservations.
That is fair enough.
But don't call me him too much because that's sad.
Yeah, no, that would just be mean if they compared you to a person who met a tragic end.
Yes.
Good. Hope Bailey fails. All right. Any questions, by the way, drop in the chat. We still got 14 minutes left because this is a 7:10 East Coast time start. So please get them in.
Serious? We need to stop starting at 6:00.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we shouldn't be such heroes starting early. Looking through the premium Slack just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And of course, we are going to have the NBA stream on as well. If you are here for some reason a little early looking for Eddie, he'll be on momentarily doing his NBA takes for the 3 games today.
Do you want to sort through my fantasy cruncher lineups and pick a fave for us right now?
Actually, you want to build one?
Sure.
Let's build a lineup. Let's see what we do, because I have some takes.
Let me open up lineup builder.
Yeah. Oh no, boy, the GPA on this one's not going to be good.
I think oh god, I might have to step away for a second. I think I got an eyelash on my contact.
Oh no.
I'm trying to blink it free. Oh, it's definitely on there. Ooh, I was able to scoop it off of my eye and not move the contact. Man, that's what happens when you've had contacts for like 20 years.
Only one stream will you be able to find people battling their own contacts and doing DFS information at the same time.
I picked that off of my eyeball like Mr. Miyagi.
Here's a question from AJ Strabo. You pull up the lineup builder. Thoughts on Dwight Smith Jr. as a cheap outfield option? He comes up for me, at least when I'm doing my analysis, because he's just been hitting well in spots over and over again. I don't hate it at 2% ownership, but his price is up too. So, it's not the best approach, but not a guy I hate.
All right, so we need 2 pitchers. Let's start pitching.
All right, I think you start with Pollock.
Let me look at it. Admittedly, I have not paid too much attention to DraftKings today.
So my logic for Pollock, just to give people, I guess, where I would start for this, he's the only guy with a projected run total under 4. So, and actually the only guy with a projected run total under 3.5, and he's just much lower than everybody. So I'd rather go there and trust Vegas.
I'm willing to start with Pollock. I want him to be the first guy that we can pivot off to if we totally run out of salary.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I like him and he grades out really well, but he's also crazy expensive. And I think that we can get similar production on a per dollar basis if we need to drop down. But I do like starting with him.
All right. And also somebody saying pick dongs. We did our home run picks already. What were they? I forget what they were. Josh, what was yours again?
You know who mine was.
Oh, that's right. Tell the people one more time who your pick was. One more.
The GOAT Max Muncy.
Of course, Max Muncy, a fantastic pick. And hold on. Oh, I went with Jock. Yes, that's right. Jock Peterson, my home run pick. So those, we both went with Dodgers today because that's the approach, going against Zach Davies with lefties. All right. Which stack would you start with then? Or I guess, would you start with a stack if you were building a one-off lineup?
Do we want to think about second pitcher, or do we want to fill that in later when we have to?
I think let's fill that in later, because if we have to pivot off of Pollock, I think we may have a different construction.
Okay, that works.
So yeah, what stack would you want to go to first?
That's a good question. Let me change the number format of something that I'm doing, and then we'll be a little bit better off. Perfect.
I think the pricing on Colorado, the guys who they brought in especially, makes me want to go there.
I would actually probably start with the Dodgers. I think that they are the best team in relationship to where their ownership is. I have them ranked 3rd on a dollar for dollar basis, but they're actually 5th in ownership. But the Rockies are 1st on both, so I don't mind starting there either. We're going to have to get a little bit different after that.
All right, yeah, let's do it. I mean, we obviously both like them as plays, or the Dodgers hitters as plays. So,
and hey, maybe when we're done, this isn't a GPP lineup. Maybe this is a cash lineup. So,
okay, that's fair.
We don't have to force ourselves into it. Okay, so we going 5-2-1?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I mean, I think we have to have Arenado and Story, right? But that's going to get real expensive real fast.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would. Who would you favor out of the two? I think I would go Arenado.
Agreed.
Because wait, I guess what we're doing? Oh, we're doing them for the 2-man. Oh, never mind.
Oh no, I was going 5 for Rockies. Were you thinking something else?
Oh, I thought you were going to go 5 for the Dodgers.
Oh, I thought you talked me into Rockies.
Oh no, I was willing to yield for the Dodgers.
So
I think
actually
the prices on the Rockies are better. If we're going to go 5, then let's do that. But I would skip one of Arenado or Story, which is what I actually did do, and go to McMahon and Tapia.
Well, if we do Dodgers, then we probably want to leave off Arenado and just take $4,300 Justin Turner to get the savings.
But Turner is also the weakest part of that Dodgers stack.
We're going to run out of loot real quick.
This is the hard part about making baseball lineups.
All right, give me a 5-man Dodger stack.
A 5-man Dodger stack is also going to be crazy expensive. My go-to 5-man, though, has been going 1 through 6 and skipping Pollock.
See, I like Pollock because he's efficient.
Yeah, he's cheap too relative to the other
Bellinger
guys.
and Jock, I think, have to be in there.
Okay. Yes, I would agree with that.
We're not going to be able to afford this. We're going to have to throw this in the garbage immediately. Jock, and then Bellinger, and then
wait, Robert Park in the chat. Spags is Arenado. Yes, Robert Park. I agree. That is a great lookalike and much better than other ones.
Man, wow, Muncy is so expensive, but that dual eligibility is appealing.
Really, the Dodgers overall are pretty expensive. That's why I feel like it's more logical maybe just to pay for the cheaper Rockies and just one of the, or I guess not one, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Look, we can pivot to Rockies then. I'm going to pull those guys back out of there.
Yeah. Like the Dodgers are like a little too overpriced for a 4.6 run total, I think. Even though it's a good spot, like I feel like
they're too expensive to have Paddock off the top. Actually, this is stupid. Why don't I just see if I got any of these lineups yet?
Oh, there you go. That's resourceful.
Yeah, so we're going to start with Colorado, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. And I've got some Paddock as well.
As one should. I'm going to be really mad if it's actually pronounced like Paddock or something. I can't handle that. Oh, Jake Hari, a lot of Paddock and Freeland for him. Interesting.
Okay. So I've got Paddock up on the screen. I'm looking through a couple of them right now. Let's find a decent. We definitely want Story. We definitely want Arenado. Agreed?
Yeah. I think that's so I would mind skipping one of them to get down to McMahon or to get down to Tapia rather, because I feel like, I that's my approach here, but I don't mind it. Like if that's what you have built already, I think we can go with it.
No, that's fine. Just give me the one. I assume we're keeping Arenado because you look like him.
Correct. Yes.
Fair.
And he's a lesser owned option. And I think we can get some cheap shortstops in there who may also be leverage against other guys.
Okay, so I've got 5 lineups on my screen right now that have Chris Paddock, and they have Arenado and Tapia so far. Pitchers with him are Freeland, Stratton, Cashner, Roark. The Cashner lineup is only a 2-man Rocky stack with a 5-man Philly stack.
Nah, I don't like that.
Okay.
Stratton is the player who I'm backing today.
Okay. So in that lineup, we have David Dahl, Blackman, and Tony Wolters.
He's a lefty.
I don't ever mind getting a catcher if it's as part of a stack.
Okay. You know what? I'll take that's actually something I should probably adhere more to. So I'll take that done. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm more likely to have a catcher in a stack than I am to like one off a garbage catcher.
Yeah, I have a lot of one-off Zunino today. Why? Zunino. I have a lot of one-off Zunino today. And I think that's a risky approach for the reasons we talked about for him as a cash play.
All right. So Wolters, Arenado, Blackman, Dahl, Tapia.
Okay.
So now we have 4,500 remaining per player, but that also includes starting pitcher. So we're going to go to Stratton, right?
Yep. Good old Chris Stratton.
The old E/D. We've got Tony Wolters as E/E. I have a feeling when we finish entering this first baseman, second baseman, and shortstop, it's going to tell us that we're fired.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first baseman, second baseman, and third baseman, or shortstop that are listed in the lineup that I have on here now are a 2-man stack of Eric Hosmer and Fernando Tatis, which I do not mind, and a one-off Brandon Lau.
Okay. I would go Hosmer and Tatis.
Okay.
Because we're getting Roark leverage, which I like.
So then we have 4,800 to spend on any second baseman, which is a lot. That's why Brandon Lau is coming up, but we can really be choosy here.
Well, so we're not going with Cashner, so I think I would be down to go with Lau because the assumption then is Cashner's giving up to somebody there. So, and Lau is as good of a bet to get it as anybody on that race lineup, I think.
I'm looking through to see if anybody has any better rankings per the boss man.
Oh, there you go. That is a good final step as well, especially with extra.
So Scott Kingery is 4K and he's a BB, whereas Lau is BC. Also, we have Jonathan VR at BC.
Okay. Oh, is he really the same as Lau? So I guess Kingery though Kingery's not a bad play because we're at least getting a taste of that game, and we're fading the Rays. Like it might have been more logical if we were fading the Rays to go to Cashner instead of Stratton. Which we're building our first lineup, and we're going to Andrew Cashner as a pitcher. No.
Who do you want? Kingery, VR, Brandon Lau. Those are our choices.
I prefer Lau, but I would trust Alex's logic there because I think they have the better run total. And Kingery's also been mashing to start the year, so I'll go Kingery.
Okay. We have a 1.94 GPA, so we're on academic probation.
God damn it. Yeah, it's not the best. That's like a D plus, right?
I don't know. It looks like one of my higher semesters of college.
I think we're passing. We're certainly passing.
We are not passing. I needed to get a 2.0 on the dot to graduate.
So then so is that an F then? I guess a 2 must be a D.
This is a D plus, I believe.
Oh, okay. That should be a pass.
College GPA to letters.
And everybody playing DK, by the way, play that lineup right now. We're selling lineups. This is our first
1.9. So that is it's somewhere in between a C minus and a C actually.
No, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I know a 2.3 is a C plus.
Okay.
That's what I know.
We have $800 left if we want to try to upgrade on, I don't know, Chris Stratton potentially.
Upgrade him to what though?
Anything else? He's an E/D. But we have 6,600, so I'm not sure that we have anything to upgrade him to. Now, we can only downgrade. Well, nope, that's... So, Kyle Freeland is D/D. Slightly better than Stratton.
But then we have Kingery in there, so do we want to go with a hitter
then we can
against?
Pivot back off of Kingery.
All right, let's see what that does.
So now we have 4,400. We can still go to Brandon Lau.
Yeah, let's do that.
We can go to Jonathan VR if you prefer that direction.
I'm not a VR guy today.
Okay, VR. Now we've got a 1.88 GPA.
So that got worse.
Evidently, the real anchor to this lineup is the EE Tony Wolters piece. And if I'm being honest, that's the piece I care about the least. I don't mind if my catcher is an EE if he's part of this stack. Like there's especially on a day great. Soler solo dong off of Herman.
Homer Bailey.
Like if I'm going to be stacking a Colorado team in cores, taking a poorly graded catcher is kind of the least of my worries. The real problem is the fact that Tony Wolters is terrible.
Yeah, I agree. He's the numbers certainly don't back it out, but the lefty matchup versus Eflin is a positive, so maybe he'll be better than it seemed. And 43 WR. He doesn't strike out. That's a positive.
I'm going to see if we can... Is there a $3,900 catcher that is...
Oh, also, one question here from Bryce Rux. Would you go Brandon Lau or Machado?
Machado.
Machado as a leverage play, but I have more Lau.
It is not out of the realm of possibility. Well, it's not going to matter. It's 709. I think my power is out.
Oh.
But it's covered on my backup battery. So it's all going to go away imminently.
Well, good timing. Let's hit the plugs. Go use the promo code live before lock to go get in for the night slates. There are going to be night slates today. And that is one of our strong points, one in which we pride ourselves in with both ownership projections and rankings for every slate out there, or pretty much every slate out there at this point. So go use that promo code live before lock. Also, go check out Fast Eddie. He's doing an NBA stream right now. If you are playing NBA playoffs lineups like I am, go check him out. He'll give you some helpful advice last minute. Also, read my column, which is premium on Osmo.com, with that promo code live before lock for half off your first month. All right. Anything else before you go to bed in your darkened house?
No. So like I have everything plugged into a power supply or like a backup battery. So everything stays on when the power goes out, but it's literally 2 monitors, computer, lights, like everything I have to make this go. So it lasts like 5 minutes and then it's just going to be whoop, and we're not going to be here any longer. But
also, good thing we got the plugs in. That was the important part.
Hope you guys enjoyed building the lineup together. Sorry that it was a not good one. Oh, we can add Zunino as a catcher, and it takes our GPA to 2.14.
Yeah, I see that. That's the play. There we go. That's what I've been doing.
Well, that's not gonna matter. This is gonna die in no time. We're good. We might as well get out of here because this is over.
All right, hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know whenever we go live. And tune in tomorrow for more content across the board, strategy videos, Four Corners video. I'll be on live before lock with Jake, I think, with Jake tomorrow. So go check that out. And thank you guys for watching. See you again soon.
Later, guys.